3, 2.
Let's go. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. You are now tuning in to episode 95 of the Off the Menu podcast. I am your friend, your host, Key, here with my brothers, my co-hosts, P.
What's good, y'all?
And Tay.
Hello, everyone.
And a special guest, a very special guest. I am happy to introduce to you Santos Jaguar.
It's Santos Jaguar.
Going crazy. Music artist, songwriter, performer, go-getter, big stepper, going crazy.
What the?
Yo, what the hell?
I've never seen him mess up an intro. I'm sorry.
What did I do?
You fat fingered.
Yeah,
You hit in between.
He did like a scratch on the.
Yeah, he was like,
That was pretty dope.
Oh my god.
That was sick. It was unique.
you got the 101. Usually he's like pretty on spot, but you got the 101 right there. So
Perfect.
Never done that
Congratulations
record break.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Maybe you should move that one away from the applause.
That's crazy.
Is it right next
bro.
to the pod?
Yeah,
It's
it's
right
right
next
there. It's
to
right on like
applause.
top or something.
I fat fingered that shit. I should have asked you how to say your name.
You said it
before I
right.
started. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it right.
I was about to say Santos Jaguar.
I mean, you can say it that way.
I
too.
mean, that's not the wrong way to say it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the English way to say it. People always ask me, even people that speak Spanish, I say Hawad, and they're like, what? Like Hawaii? I'm like, nah. Hawad, you know, Jaguar?
Yeah. There we go, man.
Okay. But thank you guys for tuning in to
Yes, thank you
episode
so
95
much.
Off the Menu podcast. We are 5 away. This week is a pretty crazy week because we got 3 episodes recording this week. So this is actually on a Sunday.
We about to go crazy.
Thank you, Santos, for coming because he drove all the way from St. George, 6 a.m. to make it to the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we
you the
really
realest
appreciate it.
for that, bro.
No,
Going
thank
crazy.
you guys, man. We had to make it happen because
Yeah.
we rescheduled this, and I was like, I can't miss this. I was telling everybody in St. George.
Yeah.
They're like, you got to stay another day. I'm like, no, I can't. I can't.
Yeah. No, shout out to you, bro. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, man. Thank you so much. Before I forget, we got IT technical support in the back. Sifu Ying going.
Oh my
Crazy.
bro. You're the one who made the beat pad, bro.
Bro, oh my goodness.
Oh,
It's a Sunday, man. It's my day off.
He didn't have coffee, that's why. So there was some traffic on 47th and Banganer. He couldn't get the beans and brews.
Good,
So
bro.
funny. Oh my god.
It's been a minute, you know?
Been a minute. 6 days.
Oh my god.
But thank you guys for tuning into the Off the Menu podcast. We're happy to be here. Thank you guys for getting us to where we're at so far. It's been a blessing in a way that we've been able to do this, and build the community we have.
Yeah.
And keep expanding it, and then sharing the stories that we get to hear on a regular basis.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things every week. I tap in and just come here and, talk to good people like you about your journey and where you're going and how you got here. And we love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it a lot.
So let's go ahead and get this started. We'll start with the question: who are you and what do you do?
My name is Santos. It's Santo Jaguar. I'm a music artist, content creator, influencer, I guess. What else? I don't know. That's pretty much it.
You go crazy, bro.
Yeah,
You've been doing this a minute, too.
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 10 years, publicly putting myself out there. And that's pretty much it. I'm just doing a little bit of everything, graphic design as well.
Oh.
So, that's pretty much it.
Just expanding all the eggs in the basket, right? You're just like trying to create or actually you're a creator. We'll just put it like that, right? And
Absolutely.
That's what it's coming to nowadays. You kind of, with the power of the internet, you can kind of figure everything out for yourself, right? And trying to put yourself out there because that's that's like the hardest thing for us is understanding that this internet it can turn things overnight, and you just got to keep working at it. And you go crazy on the influencer stuff though. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It kind of sucks being called an influencer because of what we get called sometimes too. But it's just like, no, we're just creating content, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, some people don't like it, but it's like you have to learn how to pivot, and adjust to the times.
Right.
So it's like it's all good. Like someone was trying to call me out. They're like, "Yo, you got to focus more on being a music artist and trying to be an influencer." But I'm like, bro, nowadays you have to create reels and stuff to get
It's like almost the same thing.
Yeah, it's almost the same thing,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So it's just finding that pocket of promoting your music within those like skits or like reels or whatever.
Absolutely.
Because it's like a lot of people aren't doing it. So it's
Yeah.
like, what are not people doing? Okay, let's do that. Because,
Right.
you know, that's where it's at. Yeah.
And when was A Dollar Dream was 2019. That's when I first tapped in with you. Santos actually
5 years ago,
performed at A Dollar and a Dream.
Yep.
Had the crowd going crazy too. Absolutely. And one thing I will say is from even back then up until now, bro, you've been really, really consistent. I always see you doing something. You always mentioning everybody in the lives and stuff like that, you know. So you're putting in the work, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for people to see the consistency. It seems like you never really stop from that point. You know, you just been progressing, going up.
Thank you.
Going up. So shout outs to you, man. Going crazy for that.
Appreciate that.
When did you well actually let me start it off like this. For those who don't know the genre, what is cumbia?
Yeah, so cumbia actually started in Colombia. That's where it like originated, and it has like African and indigenous like American roots and also some European. And like that's where the genre started in Colombia, and then basically like Mexico and like Peru and other countries started like adapting the rhythm, but basically just changing the instruments and making it their own variety of it. And so yeah, that's pretty much where like cumbia came from. So even in the US, like people mix a little bit of reggaeton with cumbia.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I've been doing.
I feel like in the recent years we've been hearing a lot of the the sound in recent years, right?
Yeah, and it's still not really that mainstream, cumbia. Like, you hear it a little bit in the reggaeton, but yeah, it's still not as mainstream as reggaeton. But I feel like cumbia is going to have its turn,
Soon.
you know, so pretty soon, yeah, because there's always trends and stuff like that, so it's been interesting. And, like, that's another thing. It's like I do a little bit of everything in the music to be able to have opportunities in different lanes.
Yeah.
But cumbia for sure is, like, the priority because that one's, like, kind of untouched. In a sense, like it's my own lane, so
it's super untapped right now.
It's crazy because like, you know, because of the podcast, we were able to follow you and like see. Because I remember I was just watching some stuff and I just seen your content and I was like, oh wow, this is cool. Like we have this in Utah. And then when you guys started progressing and pushing out the wave for it, I was like, what is this genre? Because I've never heard of it before, right? It's like subgenres of something, right? And so I was like, okay. And so you guys are doing your guys' job. Correctly because it's expanding and people are starting to hear it more.
Right, absolutely. And I said it last time. Music is like a universal language, right? We do not understand what the fuck is going on, but we know it's a vibe. Like, you know, going back to A Dollar and a Dream, like, you know, like my girl, like she don't really fuck with like local artist music like that. But when you went up, she was like, yo, I'm gonna go dance. Like this dude's going crazy, you know? So it's just like you know how to get the people moving. For sure, man. And I like that a lot. So I think keep doing what you're doing on that part because like I don't have to understand the music at all to just move and dance and you know feel the vibe.
But in a sense that's understanding it.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Honestly, it was like when we first started going to the club, me and the wife, the only time I would ever actually go out was when we went to Latin nights on Tuesdays.
Oh, nice.
And it's because like her manager at Forever 21 is Colombian, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is she? Brazilian, sorry.
Oh, okay.
But she, right, I'd go pick her up from work. She'd be like, hey, we're going out. It's Tuesday. I'm like, oh, man. It's like, all right, we pull up to the club. But that was like the funnest I had at a club.
Yeah.
It's because you don't have to understand. You just go in and dance and Fast and the Furious came out, you know.
And that's the thing with that crowd. No one's sitting around. Everyone's moving. Everyone's vibing and dancing
the whole
and going
time.
crazy. The whole time.
Yeah.
They'll be sweating bullets. They're still going crazy, you know? So that's what I like about this.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know what cumbia was until like this past year, honestly. And then I went to it at Alibi.
Oh, you went?
Yeah, I've gone a couple times because the homies are going.
Oh,
Like,
that's
fuck it,
dope.
I'll go. And I work night shifts. So it's like, whatever, let's step out after work. And I
on
go
a
to Alibi.
Thursday?
Yeah, on a Thursday. And I'm like, the homies are there. Maybe get a drink. And everybody there is just dancing, vibing.
Going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's sick that you've been.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I love
For
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing that now for about 5 years. And
Really?
Yeah.
At Alibi or
At
like-
Alibi.
Wow.
We started in
5
2019.
years? Damn, bro.
Obviously, COVID didn't count that year.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But successfully, the last 2 years, we had our last 2 successful years that every month it's been packed.
Yeah.
And it's a free event on Thursdays. So we do it for the culture and the community. But now we're expanding out to like bigger locations where we're actually charging for tickets.
Good.
So that allows
good,
us to reinvest into the party and actually make money because we weren't making any money.
Right.
I mean, basically, the way it works is that we get a percentage of the bar,
Yeah.
but it's a flat rate. So, which sucks because it's like sometimes we pack that thing out and you're like expecting a little bit more, and it's like kind of the same amount. It's like it just basically covers the DJs or whatever.
Or the cost of getting the DJ.
Yeah, and the DJs are like our team. So we try to sometimes include like one guest DJ, and then we always have one of our like home team DJs hold it down or whatever. And so little by little we've been growing it. But yeah, man, it feels good finally to people are discovering it. Because that's the biggest thing. It's like, you're doing something great. We knew it was a unique, cool idea.
Yeah.
But then when you see other people enjoy it or you hear about him coming through, it's like, that's sick because that's what we wanted. We wanted people to be there to actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it feels so good now that like people that we know are like, oh yeah, we're going to this Cumbia night. And you're like, dude, we've been doing it.
Yeah.
Or like other people talk about it and it's like, bro, that's our event. Like that's
have you heard? Have you heard?
Yeah,
of
have
this?
you heard?
Have you
Yeah.
heard? It's like, bro, I run this shit.
Yeah, they're like, bro, I do. They're like, oh, you running? I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, but it's because it's not really, we're vibing. We're just like, and that's another great thing because it's like we're also playing like hospitality. Like you're connecting with people. Like our motto has always been, we call it the Cumbia house party. Vibras del Lago Cumbia house party because it has a house party vibe at Alibi.
Right.
It's cool, it's chill. We're not here like to flex bottles, like pop bottles. Like no one's flexing on nobody. Like no one's trying to get in a fight. Like we're just here to dance and have a good time. It's like family, underground.
Yeah. I love
parties.
that you're doing that too. And I love that you're figuring out the business aspect of it, right? Because that's going to be the most important thing because you are tapping into something and it could be something really huge and big, right? So I'm glad you're kind of tapping into the business side of it and figuring out that part. Because I mean, as much as we love to do it for free and we do it for the music, but man, it'd be nice to get paid from it, right?
100%. And it's been a good way to tie in my own music into the party because I'm like hosting it. But and there's not a lot of cumbia artists, but anytime we get chances, like people are in town, we're like, hey, come do a song at the party or whatever. Like, so it's a cool platform too to invite other artists that have that same style that fit into that pocket. So it's cool, man.
I feel like one thing I do want to say, I feel like I see you performing in a lot of different states and areas, and it's hard for me to gauge. You feel like, the music that you're making is reaching, out of the country and stuff? People tapping in with you in like Mexico, Colombia, and Brazil and stuff like that?
Not quite yet. I mean, there's been a few people in Mexico that I've like just talked to online, but not yet. As far as like promoters and DJs, it's mostly been like Texas or California, like where there's like more Latinos and stuff. I even went to St. Louis where there's no Latinos, like and that was just because of TikTok. Like they found me on TikTok, and
but you're getting love. You're getting love here in the States for sure.
Mostly in the States. Because I mean, I grew up here. I was born and raised here, so I really embrace like the Mexican American, culture.
Yeah,
born and raised in Utah.
Raised and born in Utah, and so I used to be kind of like, oh man, because like. I think it happens to a lot of people that grow up in the States, but like their family's from another country, where like you might go back and you don't feel accepted because like, oh, you're American.
Yeah.
Like you don't know nothing about it. You're not, whatever,
Yeah.
And then you come here and they're like, oh, you're a minority. You're like, damn.
I think it would be the same if we all went back to Laos right now.
Well, easily is,
Absolutely.
growing up, there was always an identity crisis.
Yeah,
Because,
identity
like,
crisis.
Like, bro, I was born and raised here. I was born in Minnesota.
Okay.
First of all, like, who the hell is born in Minnesota, right? But
That's a place. Yes.
But I'm just saying, like, growing up growing up from a minority family, it's so different that people just look at you like, "No, you don't belong here." But then you go back home and you don't belong there because I don't even like. Sad to say, like, I couldn't carry a conversation if I went back to Laos.
Me neither.
Really?
Me neither.
Like I would be able to understand what they're saying, but I would have to.
Yeah.
I talked to Amy about it. It's so funny. So like, I was like, "Do you ever just like speak Chinese and like have to break up the words in your head?" She's like, "No, I don't do that. Like I understand what they're saying." I'm like, "See, when someone's speaking loud to me, I'm like, Okay.
Slow it down real quick.
Slow it down.
Karaoke. I can understand.
So-
Karaoke, freaking
Yeah.
bubbles, and then the words are popping
I can
up.
understand, Laos.
understand, too.
I can't speak it.
The thing is, I
for
can get
sure.
around. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can carry a conversation,
But you can get around.
I could get around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know if I went to Laos right now, they'd be like, yeah, this dude's a lick. Whatever they were charging $3
Yeah.
for, they're charging me 20.
I know. That's
absolutely.
That's what. Yeah, that's funny.
You know? So
Yep, that's how it is. Yeah, so
Because I was in Thailand. That reminds me, I was in Thailand when I was 18,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw there was like a counterfeit stores everywhere there, and I was trying to bargain, and I was like, damn, I can't bargain with this guy because I can't speak Thai like properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept just saying a number and going lower. He said, no, leave. I said, fuck.
I said leave. He
said
didn't let
go.
you buy. He said
He
just
said go.
go, get out of here. Yeah, it really be like that though, and I'm sure, outside of us, other cultures experience the same things too.
yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
I know some of my homies, they go back to Mexico and they treat him like that too.
Yeah, they could tell. They could tell right away.
Yeah.
Even if you speak good Spanish, they'll know your clothes.
Yeah.
Your accent. You don't think you have an accent, but you do.
Yeah.
So it's like, so it's all good. I learned to accept that and embrace kind of the mixture of cultures. And I mean,
Yeah.
I love Mexico, and I would love to like potentially tour over there.
Yeah.
Because there has been artists that are able to cross over, like Selena, where she is
Yeah,
accepted
yeah,
in
for
Mexico.
sure.
Even though she can barely speak Spanish or whatever, what
Mm.
her story was. So it's just like, it's possible. That's the goal. That's the
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
That'd be fire.
So
Yeah.
you said you were doing you've been doing music for 10 years.
Mhm.
Cumbia for 5.
correct.
What type of music were you making the first 5 years?
Dude, I was making like hip hop, kind of hip hop R&B ish
Okay.
kind of vibes. Yeah, more like hip hop. And that's the thing with like the Latin music, I'm mixing still kind of rapping into
you definitely
cumbia.
are. Yeah, for sure.
So it's just that blend. But yeah, I was just doing more like hip hop beats and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, more like boom bat type beats, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet that sounded crazy.
It was cool,
I bet it
yeah.
sounded- I bet
It was
sounded-
mostly just in English, so
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
So, that transition from like hip hop, R&B, Western American English stuff to, what kind of swayed you to go this way and start making the music that you're making now?
Yeah, so like 5 years ago, there's this local Mexican band called Caballos. Translates to horses or whatever, horses of the north, Caballos del Norte.
Okay.
And they're like a Mexican band. They play a little cumbia. They play like traditional like Mexican regional music, and they were freaking popping here in Salt Lake and Utah. Like
Yeah.
I remember all the girls in high school would go to all their dances. They would pack out all these dances, and they're just like this local band, but like they invested in their own production. And they had all these cool lights, and like they were just killing it for a local band here.
Right.
Like they were traveling, and it was mostly because all the girls, all the Latinas in my school loved them.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, who are these guys? And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to make a Latin. I would always wanted to make a cumbia song. Like that was my childhood dream. Like before hip hop, it was Mexican music that I grew up on. Before I started listening to 50 Cent, when I was in 5th grade, 6th grade, with Nelly. It was Mexican music.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I really want to do this. So I just DM'd on Facebook the band page, and I didn't hear anything for like a year. And then finally they responded and were like, yeah, we're down to do a song. And we did a cumbia song. My first ever cumbia song is called Bien Buena. It took like 3 months for it to like come together. And then when we actually got in the studio, it took like 30 minutes to do the song. And we were just having fun. We were just having fun, man.
Yeah.
And it went viral. Like it got some pretty good hits. And so like that one song, I was like, oh man, I got to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Because we mixed the rap with like the cumbia. And so I was like, oh man, I got to keep doing this. And that was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. And so that's kind of what like started it. And then like I still released maybe like 3, 4 hip hop kind of rap stuff after that with Toby Ali. Actually, I don't know if you guys know Toby Ali.
Shout outs Toby Ali.
Yeah, shout out to Toby Ali. And this was before like all the other stuff, all the accomplishments he has now. And then I went back into the Latin stuff because I was trying to find like Latin producers that were doing more like what I wanted to do. And so yeah, that's pretty much that was kind of the transition period. It was just the success that I saw how people reacted.
Yeah.
And that people can dance to the music.
Yeah.
Oh man,
How much fun you had making that song.
Yeah.
yeah, how much fun, like
That's dope.
Yeah,
Something
man.
just clicked. Like, okay, like
yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta keep doing this. So
That's fire.
that's dope. I like hearing that. One thing about like this genre, because like I feel like I don't know, even like Korean music, like they try to like mix Korean with like English, or like even Laos, like Laos, they try to mix like Laos with like English. It sounds okay, It sounds like it sounds
okay.
all right, But like,
You know what, K-pop?
yeah, I don't know, not even I don't even. Know
I don't
about,
think you
like,
even. But
like
see,
K-pop.
you don't even really listen to Korean music.
Put
though.
me on.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
just
say,
think it doesn't.
because
Sound, I don't. I don't
Yeah.
think it sounds right. I just don't think it sounds right. Yeah, it doesn't sound
Will they speak English or like
it's just.
or they
like-
put English in like their
It's like
song?
English and
Yeah.
Korean, whatever it is, or like
kiss
okay,
my
like even like Lausta. Let me just say, like, let me go to Laos real quick. And go like Lausta. Like he'll mix up like
Yeah, but he's from San Jose though.
English and like Laos in his raps, and it sounds like not very good.
hey,
That's-
didn't they just have a festival out there? And
Yeah.
Sabai Fest.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I get the question. I literally just had the conversation again with someone else, and it's all right. So if you guys are watching this and you guys are in the Sabaidi Fest or you guys are promoting Sabaidi Fest, change your shit for real. That's all I have to say.
Get your shit together.
Get it together because
Figure it out.
you guys are money grabbing the culture, and I don't appreciate that.
dang,
That's
I
what I
don't
have to
know,
say.
man.
that's how
They
you
were
feel
just-
about it.
Dude,
Truly.
and
that's
we
what it
were
was.
there. We're
Yeah.
there as viewers, right?
You guys went?
Yeah, we went this recently, like a couple weeks ago or last month, and we had the opportunity to record and like be there, and like we wanted to be there because this is something that our culture needed. Like a lot of people don't know a lot about the Southeast Asian culture, and yet alone the Laotian culture.
Yeah.
Right. And so this is an opportunity for us to be like, yes, we finally have a place that will spotlight and highlight who we are and get to share our stories. But when we went, it was literally like they have a culture stage. And this is the one thing that really
I
bugged
saw
me.
the culture stage.
Yeah. The one thing that bugged me is that they were supposed to have performers doing traditional dances and doing all this stuff. And they flew out people from different states to highlight their cultures, what they were doing there. And no one ever had the opportunity to share their stories because they didn't push people towards that stage.
Yeah, it was just organized very poorly.
So it wasn't the priority. Like people weren't even
It
going
was-
over there.
People weren't going there for the culture; they were going there.
Yeah.
And it's right. You should go there for the music. But if your biggest thing is to highlight unity and
Culture.
tradition and culture,
It just needs to be meshed in better.
Yeah.
together,
because they
Because they're-
separated the days
Exactly.
too.
Yeah.
They,
So-
and they just separated the days, the cultures, and the people. Which and
No
they had-
unity.
Which is
Yeah.
interesting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For pushing unity, it's not the. I'm pretty sure their intention seemed
yeah.
right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The execution wasn't.
Was it the
Yeah.
first year? Or
This is the second year.
second year.
See, and I think
It's just
the first year was so big, and they were like, we need a bigger space. We need to expand this out and add more things. But then realistically, the only reason the first year was so big is because people really wanted to be there for the culture.
Yeah.
Right.
And be there. But then I think this time around they got a bigger venue, and they were like, let's try to do all these things and make this happen. And it was like a lot of the things didn't really like fit well of how I was perceiving it. Right? They had meet and greets while people were performing.
Right.
Yeah. So
And
weird.
when you do a meet and greet, people are gonna go meet that celebrity.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I'm gonna go meet him instead of listening to the music on stage. So when we were in front of the stage, it was like 20 people.
Wow.
yeah. Execution is just poor.
Yeah.
Dang.
They
Well,
just
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once again, from us as Southeast Asian men are trying to represent our culture.
Yeah.
If you guys want help, we were willing to give our perspective and see what we can do to change things. So we want to bring unity. We want to expand our culture. We want to do everything. And it's not something I will take away from what they're doing, but also is like, if you're going to do something and it's for us, make it for us. Don't make it for the people
Yeah.
that are showing up
Right.
and like,
Like,
here, you do this.
Ideal was great.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
representing us is great, but at the end of the day, I don't want to be that guy that says everything's overpriced, but that shit was overpriced. Like, I think 3-day tickets were how much for
It's
regular?
like $500, $600. And like
see,
you can go
here's
get an
the thing.
EDC ticket or,
That's an
something
EDC
else.
ticket. That's a Camp Flog ticket.
At
That's
the end of the day,
Coachella ticket.
everything is. I mean, they had a bottom line. Everything's about money, but we don't want to make it seem like because of course it's about making money. It's about, but more importantly, it's about bringing the culture
Make
together.
it make
and
sense, though.
Make it make
Yeah.
sense. Make it. Don't have the culture stage and the main stage should almost probably be the same thing.
I literally said
You
that.
know?
I walked
Yeah.
over there.
You have them dancing on that
Dude,
same stage.
I walked
Exactly.
over there and I was like,
Christ.
dude, there's a 10-minute break
Yeah.
right now between performers.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it to push play on a track, have them come out, do their dance,
Yeah.
or talk about what their culture is? Because remember, you had a conversation with someone,
Right.
and you asked like, "What are you?" And he's like, "I'm Mien and Lao."
Yeah.
And you were like, "What is Mien?"
Yeah.
You know, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh," so I had to explain it to him. But that's what the festival was for.
Right.
Yeah.
Is explaining these different Southeast Asian cultures so people can be like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Because I grew up, like I said, I grew up in Portland, so I knew a lot of Hmong and Mien people and Burmese, you know, and these are all Southeast representation of Asian cultures.
Right.
Yeah, I only heard about it because of an artist that I have worked with, Sammy Saya.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Really?
from Utah.
yeah, from Utah.
Yeah.
She lives in Vegas now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
We know
there.
her, yeah.
That's my cousin, man.
Yeah.
I was-
Is she
that's
your
our
cousin?
Shout out Sammy,
that's
man.
our cousin.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She came out in one of my music videos. We never did music together, but
Mm-hmm.
she came out in one video. We had like a lowrider, and she was there.
Yeah. She goes crazy.
Yeah.
She's been trying to do
Make
this music
music
thing
for
for
a
a
minute.
long time.
Yeah, Toby actually produced this beat, and it kind of had like a Asian sounding beat.
Mm-hmm.
And Sammy's like, "Did you get me on this because of the beat?" And I was like, yeah, I did actually, yeah.
That's terrible, bro.
I was like, and you're doing your thing too. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not gonna deny it.
Yeah. But as you
sure.
should
good.
though, that's how you mesh things together.
Yeah.
Right. Is you kind of have to put the flow and the cadence
Right.
and stuff with
Yeah,
it.
because the other guy that was on the track, he's Burundi. He's from Burundi in Africa. So it was like, you know, Mexican, Asian, African. It was a
Yeah.
cool little thing going on there. And we're all on the lowrider. Like it was
That's
pretty
nasty.
sick.
Mix
Yeah.
of culture right
Dope.
there.
That's dope. I'm happy that you tapped in with Sammy because she has been
Doing her thing.
she's been doing her thing. But I mean, even before her taking it serious, she's always been musically talented. Like I have old videos of her, like on my grandma or my grandpa's camera of her just singing really good.
Her and her brother.
Yeah, they do. They go really crazy.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to music, she's always been tapped in. She always put us on to some nice R&B and shit, and
That's
and,
dope.
You know, dope artists and stuff like that. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, it was
You
cool
work
when
with
she
them.
posted it. I was like, man, that's sick that they're doing that. You know,
right.
Yeah,
And it's funny because like I said, once again, hearing it from outside in and like going there is like two different worlds,
Oh,
right?
I bet.
You go, we're all excited to go. We're like, man, we have to do this for our people. Like, we want to go there and like see what they're doing, see what it. Then you find out what's going on behind the doors, and you're like, man, this sucks.
yeah.
It's like this hurts us. This diminishes what we've been trying to do for so many years, and you know, express our culture and what we've grown into.
Yeah,
I think that's always the toughest thing when things grow to that level of the commercialized.
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Trying to commercialize culture.
Yeah.
There's that fine line of like integrity, and you know, it's tough, man.
Coming
Yeah.
correct.
Because the same thing has happened with like Mexican festivals, Latin festivals, where it's like sponsored by Corona, like get wasted, Mexicans, like you know, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's like Corona's paying the bills, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what if you were the one throwing the festival, like, and they cut you a check? Would you take it? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like we
Makes
might
sense,
get, you know what I'm
bro.
saying? Like we might get there one day, you know, and it's like, where do you draw that line? You
Yeah.
know? Like I don't know. It is, you know.
yeah,
It's very tough, you know, especially with the day and age of internet. It's so hard to like get by anything too. So because everyone's gonna call everything out now, right?
Yeah.
So like it was like what 2 days, like what 2 weeks ago?
Oh, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, someone he was actually he was a performer there, and he was talking about what he was doing there and his like behind the scenes view of everything. And I was like, bro, I've literally been saying that, and I wasn't even a performer.
Right.
You know, everything he said, I was like, damn.
He was
dude.
saying the same things.
yeah.
Yeah, in a sense, he was just saying some of the artists weren't getting paid.
A lot of the artists didn't get paid because, you know, once again, you're flying out, you know, people from the country, and, you know, you're just like, that probably costs a lot. You're thinking about $2,000 a ticket, right? But then for you not to even be able to pay a performer like even a couple $100 for how much the tickets cost already, it's like you should be able to afford to do something at least for them, you know?
something about like only giving out free ticket to
VIP ticket.
you know,
So the
2
artist got a
tickets
VIP ticket, and then they can bring one other
And
person.
then even get a parking pass, which is
Damn.
Yeah.
So were they local artists or were they?
Some
from
of them are
California?
local, some of them from around the United
just in the
States.
States, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
And they
okay.
asked to be on, and basically what they were saying, and once again, I'm not saying it was true, but what the artists were saying is that you asked to be on the festival, so we're letting you be on the festival. We're not paying you. It's one of those
I've
type
heard
things.
that before.
It's one of those type things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard that before. That sucks.
And like while that might be okay, I think, you know, I'm sure they knew what was expected,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, there were some other things that he was saying, that some agreements that they had between
We're not met.
them. We're not getting paid, no,
We're
but
not
at
getting
least let us chill backstage and like take pictures with all the other artists that count. And I guess things like that didn't happen either. Yeah, it's a hard thing. I have mixed feelings about it because I get the culture thing too, but I also understand the business side of it where it's just really hard to fund these type of
No, it's
things,
not
like
easy,
and which
bro,
is
It's
is
not
fine.
easy.
Which is fine. Fund it the way you need to fund it.
Right.
But if you're going to agree to something, agree to
Absolutely.
it. Right.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
100%.
Where's the integrity?
There's no
Right.
integrity behind it at all, and that just shows us like if we were trying to vend there or do something at the event or be a part of Sobriety Fest, now I'm kind of turned away from the idea of doing something with them because of how they approached this year, right?
Yeah. But hey, it's the second year in. The only thing we can do is improve and get better. And of course, everybody be talking shit and doing this, that, and the third. And I think as long as they take these things that people are saying into consideration, it can turn things around and go crazy.
I hope so.
Yeah, we hope so. We only wish the best, That's we want. Like I said, I would want to work with them as long as we can turn things around and make it happen. Because once again, we were viewers of this.
Yeah,
We were in the stand. We were there in the crowds and like understanding that this change needs to happen. And if we're gonna talk about the culture, let's do it. Let's really talk about our culture.
and don't get me wrong. While we were there, we were having fun. Like it was fun being there and enjoying the experience. But it just after the fact and realizing what happened behind the scenes and like recollecting everything that we experienced, it kind of just gives you a sour taste. Yeah.
While we're on that note, though, what are some big, Latin, Mexican festivals out here? Not even here in Utah, but just in the country, in the U.S. What are some of those?
There's the Besame Mucho Festival in
Okay.
L.A. They just did one also in Texas. I think it was Houston or Dallas. They got like 5 different stages of like different genres, like
Okay.
rock en español, like the more Mexican regional music. Like they got so many, but it's not just like Mexican. It's mostly, it's like all Latin stuff.
Latin,
Yeah.
But it's mostly like the crowd is Mexican, but they do different genre stages. Or they even had reggaeton artists too. So
Yeah.
Besame Mucho's a huge one that took off.
Uh-huh.
What's another one that's pretty big right now?
I feel like Texas probably has one that goes super crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, they expanded the
Texas
Besame
probably
Mucho
does,
to Texas, and
Texas.
then man, they got so many, bro. They have so
Yeah.
many. Like I know there's one. I have her on Facebook. Her name is Sonia. She does like one called like Carne Asada Festival or something. And she's like a more upcoming festival, so it's not a big one, but like she's growing it. She's brought in some big Texas names on, and
Nice.
I haven't been to it, but shout out to her. I've been trying to. I heard that they only book Texas artists because I was
Really?
trying to find a maneuver a way in there.
Yeah.
But someone's like, "Oh, dude, they only book Texas artists." I was like, "What?" Like,
Oh,
That's crazy.
makes sense when you're booking like for a festival and it's in your city or your state, right? It's like let's get the artists that people are gonna know here first, expand it, and then
Local
grow it.
support first,
yeah, and there's big enough artists in Texas.
Yeah.
local and
For sure.
and big ones, and so it's like it's easy for them. So, but yeah, there's a couple upcoming ones. Yeah,
Nice.
Is there any in Utah?
in Utah,
don't think I know.
nah, not really.
I
Latin
said we
festivals?
might need to you might need to make it happen, bro. We there,
Right?
We
Oh
there,
man,
bro.
hopefully that would be the goal. With what we're doing,
Yeah.
that'd be sick. But yeah, no, not yet, not that I know of in Utah. Latin festivals, no, I don't think so.
Where did you get your influence in music?
Man, I've started listening to Nelly. That was like the first ever rapper I listened to.
Okay.
50 Cent, like I was a huge 50
Going
Cent
crazy.
fan. Wearing G Unit in 6th grade. like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
The
like,
velour suits.
Yeah, man. Freaking, that was like the early stuff. And then I was listening to like Cumbia Kings, which is like Selena's brother. He made a band
Wow.
after she passed away. Cumbia Kings was a huge influence. And they're like, cumbia, but they were also mixing it with like English and
Yeah.
like rap.
Yeah.
They were on that boy band vibes, but like they were a cumbia version. So they were all dressing like rappers, like baggy
Nice.
shirts.
Hard.
But they're like singing cumbia and like dancing on
that's
stage.
Yeah,
like-
that's tough.
yeah, they were mixing the American culture, Monterrey, like the border of Texas and Mexico. There's like that kind of like hip hop kind of like culture going on, and then who else? I mean, Selena's a huge influence, and then just some other random like Mexican artists. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Those were kind of the early ones, you know.
Mm-hmm. When did you like know that music was a thing that you really wanted to do?
It was in 9th grade. I was in 9th grade. I used to go to the Boys and Girls Club over there in Midvale. They had a studio there, and they would let you record for free.
What?
Yeah, they had
Is that right off of State Street?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Over there in Midvale?
Yeah.
By the Midvale
been
Park?
to that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You went there as a kid, or?
I went there as a kid, like kindergarten through 2nd grade when we used to live up over there.
Oh, really?
Me, Max Boy, Polita.
They would do it in the summer.
In the summer,
Yeah,
we go
and during school year.
Yeah, we can go get food from the school and then go over there, and yeah, that's dope. Okay, I didn't know they had a studio though.
Yeah,
That's
so
dope.
on the teen side, they had a studio. All you had to do is you had to have good grades.
Okay.
And they closed down for a few years. My older brother is actually the one that told me like they had a studio there, but it was closed. No one was running it.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of going down the wrong path. You know, I was kind of like, I started hanging out with the little like wannabe gangsters and stuff.
Okay.
I was just telling that story on the way from St. George to my business partner, Young Mary. I was like, yeah, you know, I was kind of going down the wrong path. And then like music saved me. Like I always say, like it's cheesy, but like I started doing raps and stuff, and like I was just locked in. Like I'd get free food at the Boys and Girls Club. They'd help you with your homework. You could play basketball.
Yeah.
And then like the last hour of the program from like 5 to 7 or 6 to 7, they let you be in the studio. And so we would just like
That's crazy. I didn't know they had the studio. Shout outs to that Boys and Girls Club, man, because I remember we didn't have it like that growing up at all. We lived in a musty ass apartment. There was like 14 of us living in there. I remember clearly, this is one of those childhood memories that you remember. I remember for Christmas they hooked us up. They got us like shoes, jackets, and like clothes and toys, and yeah, I remember that. Now that like you literally just unlocked the memory,
childhood memory.
I remember that. Like, yeah, shout outs to that Boys and Girls Club, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's when it started, man. I was like 15 years old, and then I just started making my songs, started selling my mixtapes to my teachers and shit.
Yeah,
man.
That's dope.
To my teachers and to other students. Like I went to Kinko's and like printed out the the case. Like I spent like $50 putting it all together, made like a little 200 back, you know. It was just a little hustle. Like I was like selling my mixtapes or whatever. I would perform at the talent shows. And like I had like a little buzz in 9th grade, like in my school. Like I was dating this one girl. She sang a little bit, and me and her did like a little like R&B song. Okay. So all the little cholas love that song. They were just like, oh man, they love that one.
The kids don't know nothing about that back then. That's what we used to do. We used to create mixtape for our girls and shit, like burning CDs. They also, you can even go as far as getting you can like buy the printer paper of the CD, the CD printer paper. You can print some like artwork out on it and like
I never did
press
that
it down.
One. I would always do the marker.
Yeah, I just draw a Sharpie.
You can draw
blue or red Sharpie. That's it.
Going crazy like love mix to
the hearts on it and everything.
And
MySpace was popping. So
MySpace was going crazy.
So that's where all my like fellow students would listen to the track. But yeah, they love that one.
Yeah,
I just did it for it was a publicity stunt. No, I just that's why I dated her when we were like, I was like, I think she was in 8th grade and I was like in 9th. And she had a voice on her, and like they loved that song.
Yeah.
It was cool, man.
That's dope, man.
It was like MC Magic vibes, you know, just like lovey-dovey songs.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, that's kind of where it all started, and then I was just wherever I had an opportunity, like random coffee shops or like. Because I was 15, bro. There was a bar back in the day in downtown called Moe's Bar and Grill. And that's where all like the local rappers would do shows. And it was a grill. So like I was 15 years old rapping with all these like gangsters and stuff at the and like my brother used to give me a ride, my older brother. And so I was like the only kid there like singing my Boys and Girls Club songs. Like my garage band beats, bro. They were horrible, but
you know, man, you got to start somewhere, man. And
I was just so confident. And I was like, yeah, this is my, you know, like we never used to swear. You couldn't swear at the Boys and Girls Club. So yeah, man, that's where it all started.
Going crazy.
And ever since then, just been, you know, doing my thing.
Yeah. It's crazy how like little shit like that, man, it can evolve into something crazy. Like who would have thought we would have made it, you know, you would have been here doing cool shit that you're doing right now. The Cumbia parties and and all this other shit, right?
Yeah.
Just by, tapping in with the boys and girls, staying out of trouble.
Staying out of
going
trouble.
to the Boys and Girls Club
Yeah.
and tapping in with the studio.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to you, man. I'm proud of you, man. That's
Thank
dope.
you.
That's
Thank you.
crazy. What school did you go to?
I went to Midvale Middle
Okay.
and Hillcrest High School.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
in Midville, yeah.
Yep, in Midville.
Interesting. That's crazy, man. You've been doing you perform. I feel like I always see you on your reels and shit. You always in like different states and different cities and shit, what would you say is like maybe your best event or best place to perform?
Yeah.
I would say LA.
LA.
LA was super fun. There's a party that they do on Sundays. Shout out to those homies. El Menaito, they're the El Manito party in downtown LA. They've been doing their party for like, I don't know, 6-7 years now.
Wow.
Every Sunday night. And that bar, it's called La Cita Bar. It's kind of like the bar for the locals.
Okay.
In downtown. So like not much tourists, but like you always see random, every time I would go there, I've been there like 5 times. You would always see like some heavy hitters in there just hanging out, like
kicking it.
just hanging out. Yeah, like they're not like they were like up and coming producers, but like they were still heavy hitters,
Right.
And they would just be hanging out. And I'm like, the manager of so and so and this and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, LA was fun, man. Those Sunday parties, like LA loves to party, bro. Like even on Sundays, like I had so much fun there, and so yeah, I would say LA for sure. Yeah, I would say LA.
You feel like you get a lot of love in LA versus Utah, or is it kind of like about the same?
Man, it just depends. It just depends, really. I feel like with LA, because there's so many already, it's a huge like Latino Mexican community.
For sure.
I kind of like I kind of blend in a little too much. So like, yeah, they love it, but it's like, it's not like unique as much as it is out in Utah.
Right.
So it's kind of like
That
a
makes
double-edged
sense.
sword, you know?
Yeah. It's hard to differentiate when you're there versus when you're in Utah, right?
Yeah, because they're like, oh, we know another cumbia artist that kind of did something similar to you, that's from here or whatever. And so, but it's easier because they already know, like, oh, we know how to rock with this, or like we know how to like party to this or whatever. And then Utah, it's a hit and miss. Honestly, it's like some crowds will be like receptive, and then some like. Because there's been moments where, like me and Adam, for example, we performed at Sky SLC at one of the reggaeton parties.
Oh, really?
We performed one of our songs that we did, Tu Sabes. And like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just a Salt Lake audience, because I've seen, there's another up and coming artist from Vegas. He's Puerto Rican, and he's performed at the exact same party. And he's seasoned. And the Salt Lake crowd was just kind of like, like whatever. Like, we don't know your song. Like, we're just gonna stand here, like not even dance, at Sky or whatever. And then like we performed, me and Adam, and kind of the same reaction,
Yeah.
And it's just like, they didn't really like, I don't know. It's just like, you can dance to it, you can party. So like, why are you guys not, So sometimes there's moments of like, I feel like the Salt Lake culture, and it's changing because it's growing. It's like there's no proper training on like, this is our guy right here. Like, let's show him love. Like, it's kind of like, who's this guy? Like,
I get that. I understand that.
Yeah.
When you say that, it makes so much sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
for
when people
sure.
like at Dollar and Dream are like, yo, they're not even from the culture, and they're like, yo, what? Or, and then you're like, yeah, you're like, this is, dude, just vibe, bro. Like, just have fun,
Some hater shit, bro. That shit's
it really is.
Yeah,
but I think it's an age thing, because I performed randomly at it was an 18+ event at the 801 Event Center. It was reggaeton, and it was all mostly like kids, and like I did one of my songs that went viral, and No Bailes Así, and they were all like going crazy. So I'm like, maybe it's an age thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the people that are my age that know me, they're just like, but then like the kids, they hear it and they're just like, they're just going crazy. Yeah. And they were all Mexican, like they were all Mexican kids, and they were just going nuts. They were
honestly, you might be right. Absolutely. You might be right.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time, I think that was my first time in a while doing like an 18+ event, and I was like, maybe I'm just performing around the wrong, like demographic. Because like usually younger kids are a little bit more open to like new stuff.
For sure.
Versus like 30+, they're just like,
They just got out the house, man.
Yeah.
They're having fun.
Yeah, so plus like, versus like the maybe 25 and older, maybe 30, they're a little more like, oh, what's
Too cool for it.
Too cool for school.
Too cool
Yeah.
for school. They like what they like. They don't like to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
And don't get me wrong, I was like that too. you know,
sure.
and like it's because I like what I like, and it's true, right?
Yeah.
But now that I, you know, with the podcast is opening up those doors, I was like, oh, I fuck with this. Like I fuck with a lot of local artists. You know, I really am trying to get out there and really hear what they're doing because they're trying to make their own waves. You know, they're building their own community. And
We
stuff.
talked about it with Dijon with Lovers about music
Dijon,
IQ.
Yeah,
And,
music
like,
IQ.
You know, some people might have like really high music IQs or might not know enough about
music,
you know, music to kind of really like just vibe.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like an in between. And I feel like a lot of people at Sky are probably like in betweeners. You know?
Yeah.
They don't really have like high music IQ or they don't have enough music IQ to know to just like vibe out.
And you know what it is too? You notice this a lot in Utah is that people really show up for that one thing. You know, it doesn't matter who's opening, doesn't matter who's performed before.
Right.
You know, Shaq's coming, they're going for Shaq. They don't care about who's opening as a DJ.
Yeah.
Right. They're literally just going. And that's the one thing in Utah culture that's starting to change because I'm starting to notice that with a lot of the local artists that are coming up and like, hey, you know, I'm down to perform if you guys let us.
Yeah.
They're getting their crowds there now. And people are starting to see like when the one thing about Utah too is when people start clicking onto something, other people start following. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've never let it stop me, man. I try to have the mentality of like, you got to be like, yo, like, let me get better. Let me make better music.
Right.
Because it's frustrating. You know, you're like,
course,
haters, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yeah, screw you guys. But it's like, but at the same time, it's like, nah, like, you just got to keep getting better. Because, like, I'm telling you, that Vegas cat, like, in my opinion, I think he's a better artist than me. But, like, the crowd was still like,
It's I think that's one of the worst things if you were like an artist performer and you got on the stage and you were performing your favorite song or like one of the songs you like to perform and everybody's just standing there.
yeah.
I would hate to see that, bro.
And it's packed.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
packed.
packed
And everybody's
out.
just like kind of
Right.
like bobbing their head. Nobody has like emotion at all, or they're just
Yeah.
kind of like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, they just start talking.
Yeah.
I would hate that.
Yeah, man.
It's tough.
And it's just like, and then they put the Bad Bunny song right after. And like, "Ah." And it's like, come on, bro.
Some Pixel Puma right
Yeah.
after.
It's like, dang, bro. Like,
It's like, I just performed a song just like this one.
yeah, just keep dancing. Like,
so crazy.
like just vibe with me. So it's like you could be doing all the right things and they're
God.
still like, like. So it's
Yeah.
interesting because it's like I always tell people, or my motto is like I've always told local artists because it's like I broke out of that because I would get frustrated trying to do local shows.
Right.
And no disrespect to any of the rappers, but it's like, man, you go to a local rap show and it's like 20 rappers in the crowd watching another rapper, and it's like, let me go to where the people are, and that's why I'd go to these parties, right? But now it's a new challenge. Now it's a new like, okay, how do I create fans out of that?
Yeah.
Because you know that's been the hardest thing too. It's like, okay,
Well, I think, you know, you're figuring it out with the alibi thing, right? And the Cumbia parties and stuff like that. Because it really, like as Tay said, it's kind of like a cliquey thing. So as soon as, you know, people hear about these Cumbia, like you're hearing them more, like, have you heard of these Cumbia parties and this and that? And it's like, you know, so I think you're breaking down that wall little by little each time you do one of these events month by month that goes on. I feel like you're probably breaking down that door.
yeah, 100%.
You know? So shout out to you. I'm proud of you for doing that, bro. Because you know,
you.
it's like you said, it's a tough thing. Crowds are tough. You know, it's hard to control a crowd in the way that we'd like to.
Yeah, and even in our own crowd with the Cumbia parties, like we did one at Drift Lounge last month,
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
and we had like we have another one coming up July 12th. So if y'all are free, it's
Yes.
a Friday Drift
Going
Lounge.
crazy.
We're doing a Selena look-alike contest.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. But anyways, we had one last month, and we had a whole new crowd because our reels have been going crazy. I run the social media for the Vivas del Lago page,
Yeah.
and so we got a whole new crowd, a little older crowd that just loves to dance cumbia. And like we're over here trying to hype them up, like, hey, put your hands up, and then like it's an older crowd, so they're just like, they're not reacting,
Yeah.
and we're just like, oh man, because we have a younger crowd,
Right.
but last time it was just a little older crowd, so they were not into that. They just want to dance, like
Right.
like shut up, like get
Yeah.
off the mic, like get off the mic, you know. Like they even like someone wrote a comment. They were like, we love the location, we love the music, like
Yeah.
it was so good, but the DJ just wouldn't stop talking. I'm like,
Hey,
Bro, that's his
sometimes
job.
it be like that.
it'd be
for
like
reals.
that too, yeah. But
It's hard. It's a hard thing. Probably, you know, in now that you say that, in the perspective of even a DJ or a music performer, reading the room must be really crazy. It must be like it's probably really challenging.
Yeah, it varies. It varies because
Yeah.
there's sometimes the crowd is like so reactive and they're so hyped. Like on the Thursdays, they're like crunk. They're like it's 1 a.m. and they're still just
Still going.
yeah. But like last month, we just had a whole new crowd and it was weird. But you just gotta adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read the room correctly.
Read the room. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting. Yeah, that's a interesting perspective. Never seen it like that. You're right. You know, I tell my sales guys all the time, like, read the room in the fucking shop. Like, you know, if it's busy, like, leave.
A barbershop?
No. Like a smoke shop. You know,
Oh,
we
okay.
do sales and stuff, right?
Okay.
So we just read the room a little bit and, you know, feel the vibe. If they're like willing and they have enough time to talk, then, you know, go chop it up with them. If not, then, you know, like, get out of there and move on to the next spot. So it's interesting to hear reading the room in this perspective with like music and like performing.
Yeah.
Because I bet it is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see a lot of crazy individuals. Just yeah.
Interesting.
Me and Tay are people watchers though,
Yeah.
bro.
You have to observe people.
Yeah.
You know? So
I be listening to like 5 different conversations when I'm in public.
yeah.
Bro, I swear.
I'll be in those
But-
conversations.
Yeah, bro.
But to be
like in my head, bro.
But to be a dude performing
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
front of all these people is like
Yeah.
a whole other thing.
Like us versus 5 people, he's on stage like in front of 100
Fucking 100
people. He's
people,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
how do I get this one guy to dance that's
yeah,
not
the
dancing?
one guy that's just standing there with a drink in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it trips you out, man. It trips you out. You get in your head. Like most
For
of the
sure,
people
I
can,
bet. I
most of the
bet.
people can be dancing, but there's the one person that
one
threw
guy.
you off. Like, you're like,
You could lock the eyes off him. That was the
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah,
what?
or they look mad or something. You're like, bro. what-
But he's inside
Why
his
are you
head. He's
here?
vibing though. He's vibing.
yeah, probably. So it's tough, man. It's tough, but you know.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit. Tell us more about. Excuse me if I say this wrong. Was Vibras del Lago?
Yep,
Is that what you said?
Yeah, Vibras
Tell
del
us
Lago.
about. You know, I seen there was. You talked about the show part of it. There's also the podcast part where I feel like you're bringing more your perspective to the culture. You know, on the culture side of things and stuff. Like, tell us more about that.
Yeah, so basically the show podcast came about a year ago, or we just hit a year. And
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good, bro. Good.
Yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate it, man. Like doing this is tough. So
Yeah.
I applaud y'all too. Like, you know,
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for having me on because it's a lot of work and
Yeah.
it's tough, man. It's tough. But yeah, the main intention was just to be able to like have an extension of the party to kind of like talk about things from the party. Like sometimes we'll take we get pictures at all our parties. Like that photographers take or whatever of the people that went, and we do like a segment where we like hype people's outfits out or like
Nice.
it's called salsa or pasa.
Good
like,
idea.
Like you know, salsa or pasa, like you pass it or you salsa it, like hot or not type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
We're mostly nice. We don't.
He said we're
Yeah, we don't.
not ever passing.
Yeah, we try not to pass on too many people, you know, because when we first did it, people would come to the party and be like, "We saw your podcast and." Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed like that you put our picture on there, and they're like, I'm never coming back. Like they were kind of joking, you know, but now they're all shy. They're like, oh, well, people were like, oh, we didn't know it was gonna be like on the pod. You guys should have told us before they took a picture of us. And I was like, no. I was like, hey man, like it's not meant to like offend or like,
Yeah.
like we because one of the co-hosts, host Beefy, he has his own podcast, Beans and Rice. It's more of like a comedy podcast, freaking crazy, like improv. He's the one that hosts us there, and he's just a wild card. Like he's a roast master. Like he's
saying whatever.
Yeah, saying the craziest things, you know, like, but it's so funny. And so people get kind of like a little sensitive. And so, we try to incorporate, just like highlight the culture, but also kind of highlight the party, you know. And so, that's pretty much it. It's been fun. And so we're trying to start bringing guests and stuff too. So
That's dope, man.
just trying to do different stuff, man. Cause I know how tough it is in this world, in the podcast world. So
That's
No, I applaud you for being able to do that and handle social media and also being a singer, songwriter, rapper, performer. Like you were.
That's a lot.
Once again, thank you for coming here because, like I said,
Yeah.
he drove all the way. If he flew, it would have been okay, but he drove all the way from St. George. That's a 4-hour drive. And he was just like, I got to make it to the podcast this time.
Yeah.
You know?
Took a 2-hour nap.
Yeah.
no, nah, man.
Yeah,
No,
no,
nah.
no.
It's
There's
a
no
grind,
time.
man, and
Went
it's a
home,
grind.
showered. He's like, I want to make it.
And you know, we applaud you as well, man, because we know this shit ain't easy. You know, doing all the things that you're doing is not, and then keeping up your spirits with it at the same time, and just keeping a good mental on you, and it seems like you got that all. You're really locked in, which
Thank
I
you.
really really like, bro. So
Yeah.
keep it up, man, because no one can really stop you but you. You know, at this point, right? And I feel like you're doing all the right things, taking the right directions, and as far as everything. You know, the social media part, the tapping in with like Alibi and
Yeah.
and you know going to different states, whether you know even different cities, St. George and stuff like that. It's that fucking sounds
Traveling,
like a lot,
performing,
dude. It sounds like a lot of
podcast.
work, man.
Event planning.
Yeah,
it's
it's tough. So, you know, keep that shit up, man. What do you like? How do you manage all of this? Really, like how?
Dude, I'm going 100 miles per hour every moment, bro. Like, I'm just like, I just got to keep doing it, all of it. Like, I think I have ADHD, so I'm just like, always just like, I got to just take things off the checklist.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just like,
As
all
you
right.
go.
Yeah, I'm just
I
like,
feel
all right,
that.
a post. Okay, now I got to do, okay, I got to go back,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get better at it, you know, like, I think, what's the word? Just dividing time management and like prioritizing and like splitting up the duties. So I'm very like trying to do everything, and I'm like, hey, yo, help me out with this.
Now
Like,
you
I
got a
need you-
team, right?
Yeah, I got a team. So it's
Right.
like, hey, can you like buy this for the party? Because like I can't go. Like,
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
go
yeah,
do
yeah.
this or like. So I'm getting better at like dividing the work because I'm very like, no, I'll just do it. Let me just do it. Come on.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, dude, like chill, bro. Like
That's one thing I had to learn about in business is you got to delegate.
Delegate,
You
yeah.
always have to delegate, and if you got the right people for, obviously you're not going to give this task to the person who can't do it, but you know, finding what everyone's strengths are and their weaknesses, and making sure that you're playing off of that and delegating to the right people, and so
Exactly.
everything gets done. So it's so you're not feeling overwhelmed with everything, right?
And it does get overwhelming, you
For
know.
sure.
It definitely does. Or sometimes even with the music and the social media, like I'll talk to Young Mary about it. Like I'll post a dumb little reel and it'll do great, and then I'll post like a music thing and it's like not doing too great, and you're like,
Yeah.
yo, what the heck? Like
Yeah.
what's going on here? You know, it just it's a hit or miss sometimes.
Everything's trial and error,
Yeah.
and especially in social media.
Anything
Yeah.
with analytics is just
Yeah,
it's tough.
for sure.
But we get it. You know, I posted a reel yesterday. I was like, man, this is a good one. And it's like, nope.
Yeah,
Nope. And I was like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
that's
happened?
the worst when you're like, this is a good one, and
Yeah.
the ones that you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
They
the
go
one that's
crazy.
good. Yeah.
Oh God, bro. Those ones-
Like I made a reel of these guys fighting the other hosts, and that one like took off.
went
It
crazy.
was so funny. But
Is
then,
that the one with the Tekken one?
yeah, that one went crazy for no reason. Like, cause you know when you're collaborating with someone, you get a lot of their viewers, right?
Yeah.
So it's easier to get those numbers up. It's
Yeah.
like those people are seeing it, and you know our numbers are not really crazy from our side. We only have like a thank you for subscribing and like following us, but you know when we have guests on, they have a really high following, so it's easier for our views to get up high on those ones, right? But when we posted that one, I'm expecting like 200-300. That one got like 4,000.
Oh,
And like,
wow.
I look at those numbers, I'm like, why do people think that's funny though? You know?
Yeah.
for real.
And I think that's what it is. It's like they don't get to see that side of us very often.
yeah,
high emotion.
Entertainment, and high
Yeah.
emotion.
How has that transition been? Because you've been in music for over 10 years now. You know, when the day and age of social media came, were you like ready to get on it, or did that take some time for you to be like, oh, I need to start doing this?
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like anything else. You just got to update the software, and like, cause you know, I was on MySpace doing it early,
Right.
you know, and yeah, it was just like jumping on the new trends. It's more of just doing it, right? It's like, oh, that's the trend. And it's like, okay, I need to start doing that. Like
Right.
when Reels started popping off, it's like, that's why me and Young Mary started working together, because she was kind of doing it already. I was like, dude, I need help. Like, can we
Yeah.
work together?
Absolutely.
You know, and so like now I love doing Reels, whether it's by myself or with her. But yeah, it was just like anything else. You just got to update the software and just kind of figure out what works, what doesn't. So yeah, it wasn't too hard. It wasn't too hard. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's good to hear, because you know, for a lot of people, it becomes another task that they don't want to do.
Right.
So it's nice to hear from your side. It's like, no, I can do it, so I'm gonna figure it out.
yeah,
right.
like for me, I don't fuck with TikTok, but as an artist, creative, and I should be fucking more with TikTok. You know,
yeah.
what we're doing here, we should definitely be tapping in more
Definitely.
on that TikTok, the algorithms and the you know that short form content, because you know, like you said, we came up off MySpace and like YouTube, these long, I'm used to watching like 30-40 minute videos on YouTube, you know, type shit, and I'm like, I can't get on TikTok, bro. I just cannot. Like I just
Can't doom scroll.
I don't doom scroll. I don't do that. I don't watch TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. I have a TikTok account, but I don't. I don't. I'm never on it like that. So, but yeah, that's one of the things that I feel like me personally, I can't speak for her, but I personally dropped the ball on. I'm definitely out of touch on that side, but I know that's like where the views are at. That's where the content, that's where everything is at right now. And I'm like, for me, I'm just like, I can't, like, I'm gonna work on it, bro. I'm gonna work on
hopefully,
shit.
do it so I don't have to do it.
Do you guys
I'ma
have
work
a
on it,
TikTok
man.
for the?
Yes, we do have one. It's literally the same thing. So whatever you see on Instagram, if it's a minute or more, I'll go post it on there, and that's where I don't even know if it works or not. I just know it goes on there, people will view it, and that's really it.
Which one does better for you, the TikTok or Instagram?
I think Instagram.
Yeah.
Just
Same here.
because, with Instagram, there's like the professional dashboard that tells you how many accounts reached, right? I'm pretty sure there is on TikTok, but I haven't really gone
I've
into
never done
depth
it.
with it. But, Instagram is so familiar because I've been working with Instagram since 2013, since the actual release of it.
Right.
And so for me, it's simple. Just go on, post, whatever. And then with the collaboration stuff too, it helps a lot more.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I feel like Instagram, it does a little bit better than our TikToks because, when you go on TikTok, you're not going on to see podcast stuff. When you see a podcast stuff, it's always funny. It's always like Theo Vaughn talking about something crazy, but then on the bottom is a bear eating a salmon.
Yeah.
And there's always
right.
that's how ADHD everyone is. The short term or short form content.
Bro,
It's like,
they have like the fucking Rocket League on.
Yeah.
top,
Yeah,
and
and then you got something
Like a
going on.
GTA
It's like,
clip and
so what you're really doing is you're not watching what's going on. You're
just
listening to
listening.
what's going on, but you're watching the bottom one.
Yeah.
You're not
It's
hyper focused,
interesting.
right?
It's super interesting.
I watched the whole thing, a breakdown of that, and I'm like, this is so stupid. But I did over a Tekken video, and then it was like, okay, it makes
and
sense.
it did good, right?
Yeah, it's like people are
it's
people are listening to
crazy.
them argue, but then on the bottom is showing a fighting between the bear and another panda bear.
Yeah. See.
I literally watched a YouTube short, which I don't even want to talk about it. YouTube. I be on YouTube Shorts more than I be on TikTok. But some dude
We're 6 months late.
was talking about how he makes like $1,000 a day or something by doing that. He'll just go find podcasts and quotes and stuff like that, and he'll do like videos of like
Clip
some
farming.
dude playing
farming.
GTA or some shit, and that's how he made money. This is how he made $1,000 today. This whatever the fuck it is. All he does is wake up and find
I seen that.
quotes and
I seen
Yeah.
that.
do shit. I was like, that's interesting. Like that's
That's
People
a lane.
will find way
That's
to
a
make
job.
yeah,
find way to
it's
make
it's
money, bro.
crazy.
It's
So
crazy. Internet's hell of a place.
we gotta tap into that. I gotta figure that shit
Hey,
out.
Clip
man.
Farm
Mikey.
our podcast.
Yeah, we gotta do that, man.
I know there's there's this YouTuber, Tyler Olvera. He does like reporting. He'll go to like,
I've seen him.
yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of
So-
like Channel 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he's a little bit more like serious.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, at the end of every episode, he says, whoever makes the best clip of the podcast, they get like $100
That's right.
or
And
something.
he'll send him $100 or
or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, that's pretty sick. So he's in, he's giving them a reward for, making a good clip that goes viral. Or whatever.
Yeah. We need to.
Pay some people.
It's engaging, right? That's how people.
Yeah.
That's how you engage with people. It's
Your community.
different. Mhm. Engaging is not the same as engaging, like what we knew back then. Is like, so it's
Yeah.
yeah. We gotta figure that part out. We'll work on it, man. We'll work on that shit.
Oh, I feel you.
We need
I'm
to
on the
do-
same boat.
We definitely need to do more stuff where we're collaborating with people outside.
Yeah.
Because I see what you guys do. Like, you guys are
Yeah.
working with people. You guys are doing your own thing, but then also like you guys get the concept of like being out at your parties and like talking to people and being around those in that space.
Yeah. I honestly, that's what I like about your page. It's not just music, right? You're doing whatever. Some people are like, oh, it doesn't fit, whatever the fuck I'm trying to do, this, that, and the third. But you're like, you're doing the reels, you're doing the funny stuff, you're doing, you're doing the concert, reels and like of your music and all this other things. So your page is very interesting. I scroll through it.
Yeah.
Time and
Sometimes sometimes I am a little like, dang, man, it's all over the place, but hey, whatever.
It
you know.
works though.
It works,
It works, right?
Yeah.
So we need to be more like that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We,
do something.
you know what it is? We need to have different topics on the podcast that we're
Yeah.
asking guests, like funny questions and stuff, because
To keep up with times.
we are. The one thing people say about us is that we're really professional, and then I look at them like, dude, we're just like three guys. I don't know how
But
professional.
here's the thing. I feel like what we're doing here is more for us. Like I'm more interested in getting to know you and hearing your journey and all this. You know, asking you like, English or Spanish. You know, shit like I'm not about to do. You know, I'm not about to do none of that shit with you. Like,
Did
I
you
wanna,
see how
like,
you combat that now?
Clickbait.
You know, do you see how it's like you walk up and do that now? There's like I'm gay, and then the guy has to walk off now because
you know. So I'm not.
So what's the joke? What's the joke with that? I'm late
it's some
to this.
guy randomly. He just walks up to people
English or Spanish?
in English or Spanish, and he'll ask them if they move, they're gay.
Whoever moves first is
So
gay.
he would farm the clip by doing that. But
Yeah.
then recently, people started doing it. It's like when they ask, they were like, "I'm gay," and then so he don't have to stand there for a minute and don't have to do anything.
Oh, okay.
So,
I did
you
see
know-
that already.
But it's just random stuff
Exactly.
like that though. Like
It's
that
just-
guy,
right.
he made. I think that he was talking about. He made like $20,000 that first month after that first clip. I was like, wait. Off some stuff we used to do in middle school.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
in middle school we were
exactly.
doing that. And I was
Whoever
like,
moves first is gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
meme,
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
Exactly. See, I'm not about that. I'm
Yeah.
more interested in
Yeah.
That goes
learning about
yeah,
you.
That goes.
we're
back
here
to-
more
yeah.
so for the conversation.
Yeah.
And when people tell us like, when people are like, you guys do it from your home, you guys do it for free, you guys do it. I'm like, yeah, well,
Yeah.
realistically, we started this podcast to market our clothing, and it turned into something bigger than that. And
Yeah,
it
so
became more
crazy.
so that every Monday and Tuesday we get to sit down with amazing people and have a conversation with them
Exactly.
about what they're doing and
This
how
is
they're
like almost how I decompress now. Like I just like coming and chopping it up with people of like good people. Like, bro, we've heard so many cool stories about people and their journey and where they started and where they're going. And it's like I like hearing shit like this. It motivates me and inspires me. And we're just hoping it does the same for our viewers. Right. But I guess we could be a little better at trying to engaging
with the viewers. Yeah.
with not just you, but the viewer aspect of it, right? So yeah, we'll work on it. We'll figure that shit.
Yeah,
out. Yeah. It's interesting.
We have a question on here because you're an artist. I would like to see your point of view from it because of your variety of music that you do.
Yes, for sure.
So the question is, if you had to make a dream album, dead or alive, who would be on your album? You have a rapper, a singer, and a producer, and then yourself.
Oh man,
Going
that's a
crazy.
really good one. Dang man. Well, Selena on the shirt.
Of course,
It's
man.
for the singer, I guess.
Uh-huh.
The producer. Oh, dude. Who would be the producer on that? Dang.
Anybody, bro. It could be Toby if you want, man.
It could be
Anybody.
Toby.
Yeah, it could be anybody.
Dang. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. A singer, a rapper, and a producer.
Mhm. And this is your dream album. You're making 16 songs. And you're making all of them. So this is whoever you have on it. This is who
Whoever.
you're making it through.
Anybody, dead, alive, whoever.
Man, I guess I'll just. I've been just saying the same answer, but Selena's brother, A.B. Quintanilla, Cumbia Kings, as the producer, because he is a producer.
Okay.
And then rapper on there. Shoot, man. Let's see. Dang. Let's see. I don't know. That's a tough one. Hold on. I'm trying to think. That's a tough one. Oh, man, who would I choose? I don't know. I'm not sure.
And if
Sway Lee, maybe?
Oh.
Sway Lee, really?
That would
Yeah.
go.
that one just threw me.
That would go crazy.
Yeah,
That would
because
go
he's melodic
crazy.
too.
Yeah.
So,
Melodic.
yeah.
And he's a huge influence for me. Like the song me and Adam Banks did, Tu Sabes, like Adam's like, what kind of song you want to make today? And I was like, I pulled up a Sway Lee song
Yeah.
and I just translated it to Spanish. I just made it Spanish Sway Lee vibes. You know?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Sway Lee.
Okay.
He's more like a singer rapper. but
Yeah,
I'm
that's why-
gonna say
But
him.
you
Yeah.
know, like one of his biggest hits is kind of that same that Unforgettable with French Montana is kind of
Yeah.
like on that
Melodic.
you know that same dance
Dance
vibe.
yeah,
hall,
and
dance
even like
hall,
him and Post Malone, Sunflower, like
Yeah.
singing
Yeah.
melodic rap, like that kind of stuff.
Honestly, I would love to hear that. I'd buy that album. That would go crazy. Actually, that shit would go.
That would be nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Sway Lee's he's
Sway
dope.
Lee, Selena, and
Cumbia Kings.
Yeah.
Or AB is the producer, I guess. Her brother.
Yeah. That would go crazy.
That'd be nuts.
Okay. While we're on that note, if you could perform at any music festival headlining, anyone, they all hit you up as like, we want Santos.
we need you.
We need you.
Damn.
Where are you going?
I think I would go to man. What's the one that Peso Pluma just performed at recently? I think it's a
Where did I don't know? Was it Coachella?
He did Coachella.
He did Coachella, right?
He did in April.
Yeah, this
I think
April.
he did.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this year
But he
they
wasn't
had a lot
headlining.
of. Yeah, he wasn't headlining, but he did. I know he performed there because we watched it live. But also this year was the biggest year for Latin artists at Coachella.
That they had at
Yeah.
Coachella.
Yeah.
Dang, I would say Coachella.
Yeah.
I'd say Coachella.
Coachella
Yeah.
going crazy.
Honestly, it fits the vibe though because
Yeah,
like
for
with
sure.
with it being in California,
Yeah, there's a lot
Exactly.
of things.
it reaches out to a lot of them that pulls them there because this year, like I said, they said well over, I think like 37% of people that attended were of Hispanic or Latin heritage. So
Yeah.
I feel like Latin music artists are going crazy as
Yeah.
of recently. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you said it, Bad Bunny and all the
Peso
like
Pluma,
Peso
yeah.
Pluma. Like I feel like this is a spot to be in for you, bro.
Oh yeah,
You know,
100%.
for sure. It's like the right time,
Yeah.
to come up for sure.
Yeah, it's all about the timing. It's
Yeah,
all about
absolutely.
timing.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Well,
He said, well.
that went by quick.
That did.
man. Shit. I don't want to go yet, man. It's been too long. Well, we do have one segment on the show. We call it the Chef Special. We just like to get a Chef Special, free game advice from you for our viewers, just to, do better in life, whatever the hell it is. Just some free game from Santos. Going crazy. What's your Chef Special, bro?
The chef special.
The
All right,
chef
the
special,
chef special is the I call it the pivot. Okay.
Okay.
The reinvention. You gotta know. You gotta be okay with starting over and pivoting, and just starting from if something doesn't work, just try something different,
Yeah.
and that's it. And you can still keep going, but just change it up a little bit if it's not
Love it.
working. So
Yeah.
I think straight to the point, nice and simple. Like, don't be afraid to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
If something's not working, move on to the next thing. So
I love that one.
that's
Yeah.
refreshing to hear because you hear a lot of people talking about chase your dreams, keep going for it, but people are too scared to go back from square one and figure it out again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's amazing. I love it. I've reinvented my artist name like 5 times. Like,
Yeah.
and it's great. I love it. I love that
Yeah.
feeling of being able to start over or try something different. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's a
definitely
great
push that.
one. That's a good one. More people need to do that. A lot of people are scared to fail, and
And I think it was his point. It's not necessarily pivoting from your dreams, but
No.
pivoting how to get to your
Yeah.
dreams,
how to get there quicker.
Yeah, yeah.
If this way's not working,
Yeah.
how do I? Where there's always because there's always another way. Sometimes the
Exactly.
way that you're doing shit don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like tunnel vision is the killer of
Yes,
creation, and that's what it
absolutely.
is. When you're so locked into what you're doing, it's like, no, I can't go back.
Yeah.
But also, it's not just going back because you have those steps that you already took that that you can take again and just refigure it out. Because you're not
Yeah.
fully reinventing yourself. You're taking the knowledge that you once learned and then
Exactly.
putting it back into something.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
it happens.
Yep.
People got to do that sometimes.
The
Yeah.
pivot.
The pivot.
The
That's
Yeah,
really,
man.
and it's cool that you had a name for it too. It's crazy.
He said, I call
You're going to need that on a shirt.
Yeah. The pivot.
Well, bro, thank you for coming on, and
Yeah. Thank you guys.
we would love to be of any help in this as well, bro.
Future
If you need
endeavors, yeah.
anything, bro, from us, whether it's merch, clothes, if you need some help with anything, hit our DMs, bro. Let us
Definitely.
know what you might need, and
Yeah.
we probably know someone who can help you get to
Appreciate
where you might need to go. If that's something you need, bro, please call us.
Yeah.
We're here, man.
Likewise.
Yeah,
Of
bro.
course.
And,
And also, if you have any shout outs or anyone, or if you got
Yeah.
any events coming up, let the people know what
let
you're
'em know,
doing.
man. Let them know.
Oh yeah, Drift Lounge, July 12th, 9 p.m. Cumbia or Como la Flor on the roof is what we're calling it. Get your tickets on Eventbrite under that name.
Yeah.
And then just shout out to the team, Vibras del Lago, DJ Drew, Crowd Control, Young Mary, Hose Beefy. So shout out to the team that's like
Yeah.
rocking with me.
Going crazy, man.
Anybody that didn't name you as well,
Yeah. for
So
sure.
I appreciate y'all. Yeah. So shout out to the community, just holding it down, and thank you guys. So shout out to you guys.
Yeah, no, shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for coming on, and we there, bro. What do you say, July 12th?
July 12th.
July 12th. Let's try to.
That's
try
his
to pop
upcoming
out,
Friday.
man.
Upcoming Friday, yeah.
Let's try to pop out. We try to.
It's gonna be a packed
Pop out and
house.
show.
Trying to,
We have a patio,
trying to
so
move, man. I'm trying to move around.
Yeah.
Trying to get the body moving.
Okay.
Okay.
I need some content, so I need to go out there. We can do something out there.
Yeah. Let's do something.
Yeah.
He said, okay.
Yeah, and if you're trying to collab on some reels or some shit too.
Oh yeah,
let's
anything,
get on
bro.
it,
I'm
man.
down, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
down.
get him on a
Let's get it.
skit. Let's
Yeah,
get him.
yeah,
let's-
Yeah, let's do some skits. I'm
I
down.
won't be there next Friday, but
Yeah,
you'll have fun.
we'll make it happen.
I got
man.
a show.
Off the menu, episode 95. Santos Jaguar.
Jaguar.
You
Going
it
crazy
perfectly by the
for
first
y'all.
The first time you said it. Yeah.
Shout out, y'all, man. Thank you so much.
Peace out, y'all.
Play beautiful, play proper.
Make sure you follow everything in the description below.
Yeah, let them know, man. July
Comment,
12th.
like, and subscribe, please.
Uh-huh.